It's raining outside. There's still snow on the ground. And this thing just fell off the wall. 2025 is not off to a great start, guys. Anyway, I did build this, so I guess you're probably more interested in that. Hello everybody, my name is Chicken. Welcome back to another video. This is my first video of 2025. It's off to a good start, generally speaking. I hope it's been good for you. I took a little break there. As you can see, it's been about a month. And I said I would get this out within the first week of January, but clearly I did not. So don't forgive me for that. Let's get started with the layout. I want to try to keep this as brief as possible because I don't know if I can take it. It'll be better for both of us if this video is on the shorter side. So let's start here at Tidmouth Sheds. And here there's a ramp, and there's Oliver, who has been pushed into the turntable well, very unfortunately. So let's come out here to the cooling plant. And this isn't a new area or location. I've had it before, but now I have two of the main cooling plant like destinations. So I'm able to do this really cool thing where it's almost like a tunnel. And I really, really love this. I'm so happy to have two of these. I got a big lot from Facebook Marketplace that came with a whole bunch of duplicate items that we'll see, in this layout. So, yeah, there's Charlie and Billy there. Those two lines just come off the turntable. There's Percy back there. It's Rosie and Hector, and Douglas, and Logan over there. Some more coal. So the line off the turntable, these two lines here, well, really all four of those, come off of the turntable, and they converge here into the middle. And we come down to Haltraw. Sorry, not Haltraw. I was looking at the barrel loader. We come down to Tidmouth Station. It's a really awkward angle, trying to get around this mountain here. But yeah, there's Duck and Oliver with some coaches, and across from the platform there is Rex with some Arlesdale coaches. Trying to shift into a better position here. There's not much space. Okay. So I know on one of my other layouts I said that I would be doing a proper Arlesdale on this layout, or on my next layout. That is not the case here. So I do apologize for that. But that was before I got the huge lot with all the new stuff in it. So that kind of took priority. It will happen someday, though. I will do a good Arlesdale. That's something I want to do. But yeah, so his line just ends in a buffer back there, and we'll just cover this real quick. Because it is rather small, but I figured it was better than nothing. So here's just a little loop, and there is Bert with some fossils, comes around, goes through the arched viaduct, and there is a little yard there where Mike is sorting some barrel cars, and then that line goes up to where Frank is with some ballast. So pretty sure it's lead, but that's all right. So yeah, that's it. It's just that. There's a couple lines off the turntable, but that is all. I haven't done a big layout like this in so long. I don't know how to do it. It's really overwhelming. Okay, so Duck and Oliver's lines, they converge into a switch here, and then immediately another switch. Take the left track, you go onto Diesel 199's line with all the tankers. Goes down across the crossing where Hank is, and then goes into the docks all the way down there. And there is Salty pulling a long train. One of these is new that came in the lot. just the little cargo transfer crane thing. Go past some oil derricks, and there is Edward with Rocky, and there's Cranky. Zoom in here. So if you take a right off of that line, go underneath the Sodor Bay Bridge, and you go onto the Arlesberg like cove thing. I flipped it around so that way you could actually see the detail. Because the other side is just like a bunch of weird art with like Oliver and stuff. It looks really weird. So I wanted the actual cave part, but it's not meant to be like that. So you can see a little hole there. But that just comes down and connects back there. And that line is the same line that Edward is on. So yeah, there's Mavis, fuel tanker, and there's Cranky, and then that line goes into Netford Station. And there's a V-switch back there, so we'll loop back. But there is Duck, Thomas, Gordon, and James, each pulling some coaches, except for Duck, he's just sitting there. So Gordon's line and the line next to him are connected with that switch there, and they can go out, and they connect to the lines next to those ones. There's Sydney with the fog cars, and that line just runs parallel to that one. There's Diesel 261 with some cars. There's a little shed, gantry crane. This switch back here connects back up to those two lines. There's Harvey and Porter at some buildings. So we go along this track that goes underneath the old Iron Bay Bridge. You come back to where Douglas is. And then you go along that track back there, go to where Rosie is. I'm already out of breath, and we've hardly even started. Okay, so let's go back to Diesel 261's line. It goes up this mountain, up to where Thomas and Percy are with their Christmas hats, back when this was going to be a Christmas layout. You'll remember that shot from my update video that was really bad, but there's Lady next to them with some presents. And their line will continue. It goes over the back of Netford Station through all the covered bridges. And then it stays elevated for a while. Goes across 5 Sodor Bay bridges, through the clock tower, goes up a big old hill, onto the viaduct, and here is where the Flying Scotsman is, with some Green Express coaches, and his line comes down. And there's the haul trawl barrel loader that distracted me earlier. There's a switch, but if you go back for a second, that just connects back up to the cross where Tuck and Oliver are. Okay. So I see another nice little section of track here. Let's go back. Take either of those two lines. It doesn't really matter. But that's just how it connects there. There's a T-switch that goes underneath the line there. And those two tracks converge where Emily is with the barrel car. At another barrel loader, goes through the fire station. Now we're on Hank's line from earlier, goes over a archstone bridge, and goes underneath the viaduct. It spits out back here, and we're back to this switch. Alright, so that is that section of the layout complete. Let's go back to this section now, where Salty was. Let's go along that track, the one next to there, and that is Lady's line. If you take a left at that switch, you just go down to Tidmouth, past like the mail station thing. But if you go straight, you go through the Tidmouth covered bridge, and you go across another arch viaduct, and there's Thomas with the snowman and Percy with the ice delivery crane go across the old suspension bridge, and you go across this bend here, tight curve thing. There's Spencer with a coach. Go through another covered bridge, and you go down to Elsbridge where Toby is. If you go back there, though, you end up at Tidmouth again, and there's just a little yard there for the breakdown train. So, Toby's line back here goes to a switch. There's Daisy with the Yumpsters cars. Goes across the level crossing, and there is Belle with a big old fire train at the Knapford fire station. Probably lead paint. It's okay. And that goes into those two lines of Knapford, the ones closest to us. The two lines in the middle just end in buffers. So that's all that is to that. So if we backtrack on Daisy's line, there's the chicken coop, and there's the vegetable stand Bulgy hiding back there. You go through the grain loaders, well, just one of them for now. We come back here, and then you enter the diesel works, which is one of the few actually new destinations on my layout. I've had a couple pieces that I've scavenged on eBay, but I have not had the full thing yet. Still technically don't, because I don't have the zipline piece that connects the two, like cargo drops, but that's okay. So yeah, there's Diesel 10, Splatter, Dodge, Dan and Dart. If you come this way, there's a switch there for Erie and Burt, which just goes to like a siding. There's a couple more industrial buildings. But, so this line suddenly becomes dual gauge because you enter the Steamworks. So there's the three versions of Victor from different times in his life. There's Paxton up there in the repair gantry crane thing, I don't know. So I did this little loop design thing here at the Steamworks, and I quite like how this turned out. If I had the barrel loader, I would put it back there, but I do not. But yeah, so there's Connor and Caitlin in the main parts of the building. Come out this way, there's Neil with the hand car at one of my two Abbey repair shops. This was another new item I got. So Neil's line comes down here, splits into two. There's a little yard there for Bill and Ben, where they are shunting some trucks. And then the other line goes into Crovansgate Station, which then goes into the wharf, where we have Stepney and Rusty, each pulling their own trains. Stepney has some aquarium cars, because, well, there's the aquarium and the fish food factory. And that line connects back up to that switch from earlier. But let's quickly talk about the narrow gauge section. So we'll jump the track over. There's Rusty with some oil, and his line is the other line of Crovansgate. But his line comes back this way through a little junction. There's Scarloey with some trucks, and there's the sheds. There's Fearless Freddy and Mighty Mac in there. There's a switch there for the other line. There's Rheneas getting overhauled. But his line connects through here, back up to this little switch. And there is Sir Handel with some cars, and a shed for the breakdown train and Millie. Keep continuing up the line. Goes up a steep hill into the, I think this is the Rumble and Race Mountain set, which is pretty cool. I've had this for a long time. I think I've only used it on one layout, though. There's Luke hiding up here in the mountains with some Blue Mountain Quarry cars. So for those of you who don't know, the line just snakes up like this and then goes back down. Back to where Rusty is. But if you go along this line, through the sheds, you find Peter Sam there in the tunnel, which then snakes through the mountain to where Duncan is with a coach. It spirals up the snowy mountain incline. There's Duke with Ada, Jane, Mabel, and Cora, and then that just connects back up to that switch. Okay, sorry, I just took a little break to catch my breath. So that is the entire narrow gauge railway. It's rather small, but it does the job. And just to clarify, that switch right there, just this section here is dual gauge, both narrow gauge and standard gauge. This section over here, that's all standard gauge, but this section over here is all narrow gauge. Well, not Spencer's line, but the other ones. Okay, so let's head back to the Steamworks, and let's go along Caitlin's line. It goes over this little Arlesdale bridge. There's some buildings. It's like a little town thing. And there is a roadway, which connects up to my 2 service stations. Again, another new duplicate item I got. Wasn't quite sure what to do with them, but I plan on probably giving one away, so I wanted to use them for the layout. There's the ugly Kevin getting rebuilt. There's Lori 2, since he came with this, obviously. I don't have 2 Lori 2s, I just have 2 of the buildings. So yeah, back to the Arlesdale Bridge. Goes over to the back of the Steamworks, and there is Norman and Dennis and George. And these 2 tracks just go back into the Diesel Works. So this line continues, and then just real quick, this line that Wilbert's on goes through the level crossing and connects back up to where Daisy was. So yeah, these 2 tracks come into Wellsworth Station, which is one of my favorite parts on the layout. It was one of the things that I designed first. So yeah, here's Henry in the siding. In the middle track, we have Gordon with the Express. And off to the left, we have Edward with the Network Express coaches. And there are my 2 Wellsworth stations. Again, another duplicate item. And they go all the way back. Sorry, the turntable's in the way. Wow. Hope that wasn't too loud. Quickly, carefully step into the layout. So those 2 go around the back. There's my new dirty Scruff. Yeah. So what does that make that one clean, Scruff? I don't know. He's pulling the garbage car, which is new. And there's a siding there for the Sodor sweet shop cars, I think is what they're called. There's a switch to avoid that, though. And that comes into another new item, which is the Sodor Sugar Mill, next to Mr. Jolly's Chocolate Factory. And I did this kind of weird design with the 2 buildings there. I had some empty space back there, so I threw my old one there. But that one is new because it's not broken. My old one, the little red handle thing broke off. But yeah, so there's Percy with Chocolate Rickety, and a chocolate tanker, and a chocolate toad. So there's a couple switches here. It's just like a little confusing yard thing. It just connects back up into Knapford there. But there's a siding where Whiff is at the recycling center. And let's quickly cover this bit of road before I forget. So that road there starts at the recycling center, goes through my 2 scrap yards, and there's the scrap lorry. Goes over the road level crossing, past my technically 2 versions of the Sodor Hospital. One of them has a cross, one of them has a helipad. You can see the differences on the ambulances as well. So that goes across this other level crossing where Shop Matt's car is. I think that's the dirty one. It's in the farm area. That goes to the cement works and ends. But you come back up here, and at the hospital, you go across, and then you go to McDonald's. This is one of the funniest items that I have. I don't plan on keeping it. This will be going to the hands of Domus Engine. He will be able to do the McDonald's joke a lot better than I ever could. But we got some more Stop Hat cars there. It is missing the sign, like logo part. Just a little red stick. So, yeah, well, we need to figure out a way to get a replacement for that. But out the back, we got the McDonald's play place, which is just the Sodor carousel. And that line goes into the left line of the fire station. There's a couple fire trucks there. The second line, there's Flynn next to Bell from earlier. Goes across here. There's a road switch. Insanely rare. That was the main reason why I bought that big Facebook lot, was because it came with these two switches. I didn't use the other one on the layout, but I do have both of them. And there's Elizabeth. I can nice back up there. This line goes across the other level crossing, through the car wash, under the bridge. There's Bertie at the Tidmouth ticket booth. It goes over those three tracks. There's Butch. Goes down the line. There's Jack. Goes to the station. There's Lorry 1. And then back to the other fire station way over there. So that is the road on this layout. I do plan on doing a dedicated road layout at some point with all the features, but couldn't quite fit them all on this one. Guys, look, McDonald's is now farm to table. Isn't that great? Should be one thing they can do right. Okay. Sorry, stepping out. Okay. I think I accidentally almost covered it. We got one more line, which is just this. There's back there, there's a line for Scruff, where he's got his recycling cars, and there is Reg's line of track, with all of the different compactors and a bunch of different scrap items. So yeah, that, I believe, is the entire layout. I'm going to do one more overview, just to make sure I didn't miss anything, but I am pretty sure I actually managed to get it within a reasonable amount of time. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Once again, I apologize for the little break in videos there. Life's been pretty busy. I'm not sick anymore, which is good. I'm just tired from building this layout. I literally finished it like, I don't know, like an hour ago. So I'm kind of tired from that. But yeah. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Looking forward to more videos to come in 2025. Next video is going to be a model train video. Don't fight me if it's not. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.